All right, everybody, so this is my Echo PB-770H. The H stands for the hip throttle that it has on the left side, and it's not on the tube. If this was the T model, the throttle control would be right here, basically where this pistol grip is at. So I bought this off of Facebook Marketplace for $80, real cheap, and it looked basically just as nice as this. I did clean it up a little bit. There was like a little bit of dirt like right here on the tank, but it's in mint condition. It's 5 years old. From 2019, 63.3 cc engine. This was the 770Ts are assembled in the United States, but the parts are made in Japan, so you already know that's quality. This is also way better than the BR600, just saying. It's more powerful as well. So I have done nothing to this, all except for, wait for it, when I bought this unit, I was told that the engine was bad and the motor was locked up, and the recoil wasn't catching the starter. I don't know why it's not retracting perfectly. Not a big deal. maybe it just needs an extra turn on the spring. The starter prawls on the actual recoil were bent, so I just had to straighten them out, and now the recoil is working just fine. The reason why the engine was locked up, once I played with the actual starter thing underneath the recoil, I managed to unlock it though, but it sounded like the engine was knocking. So what was wrong with it? The impeller fan was actually loose. The bolt that holds the impeller fan to the crankshaft was actually loose. Not entirely sure why. I have a picture of the original listing. I'll be sure to post that along with this to show you guys, you know, what they said, what was wrong with it, because it was a repair shop that the previous owners took this to, and they thought it was trash. Turns out it certainly wasn't. So I tightened the impeller fan. The crankshaft wasn't damaged. The keyway wasn't damaged. The actual key on the crankshaft wasn't damaged. The metal bearing, the pot metal bearing inside of the impeller fan was fine. So thankfully, we got lucky. It wasn't damaged. It was just super loose. I tightened it up, give it a couple ugga-duggas with my Ryobi impact, and it's back in action. I haven't done anything to this. The air filters still look brand new. The spark plug is the original, so I'll probably change it out just for the heck of it. But everything else is perfectly fine. It is in mint condition. The only thing you can say that is making this thing look not new is literally a few paint spots or whatever, which is really funny. Other than that, well, it is in mint condition, but that's just got a few small defects. Not like it matters. It's a beautiful, very powerful machine. I bought it, fixed it, and used it for about 2 hours the very same day. I can definitely say that this thing is a whole lot more comfortable than the steel. The pleated, or not pleated, but the vented back plate definitely makes this thing a lot more comfortable and a lot cooler to use. There's the hip throttle. I never really understood the hip throttle design. I always thought it was so funny. Why would you want to use two hands to do a job that technically only requires one? You just make it harder for yourself, right? Not really. It's still a nice feature, because then you can use it on cruise control. You don't have to hold your finger there or whatever. And the best thing about the hip throttle personally is that if this breaks, it's a lot easier to replace though. Like the throttle cable is a lot shorter because the carburetor is right in there. Another nice thing is that is a Walboro carburetor, not a Zama. It is a Walboro, which is awesome. But yeah, cable and everything is a lot shorter, which means this whole assembly, if it were to break, is a lot cheaper to replace, rather than having the cable go down here, out the side, and here, because that whole assembly is a lot more expensive to replace. Thankfully, this is not. That is probably the biggest plus with having a hip throttle. So this thing is beautiful. Been running it pretty good. Definitely not selling this one. Definitely going to keep it, because I've wanted a 770 for a long time, and I finally got one for cheap too. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching.